If I take a moment, breathe deeply, sit with myself, and think of what is the highest version of myself, my truth, the best vision I could have for who I am, and if I just sit with that, I know that a lot of the things that I focus on in life don't really matter to me. I know that I have an ability to sit, get still, and to create feelings that feel good to me, to focus on what is really important, and also just to realize that even though there are things in my reality and experience that don't serve me, honor me, or represent the highest version of myself, that there's nothing wrong with that, because life is an abundant experience and there are good things, bad things, things we like, things we don't like, and it's not there to punish us or make us feel bad. I believe it's there for us to choose and really have a selection to pull from. And I've read Conversations with God that goes over this. I've also listened to Abraham Hicks, and they talk about it, where in an abundant universe, all the options are there for the creation of what you would like. So in learning what you don't like, it helps you to learn what you do like. And the challenge that we face is, how can I experience what I don't like and not condemn it or deny it or fight it, but just let it be? It's like, I think my favorite example of this is Esther Hicks, or Abraham Hicks, goes over an example where if you go to a buffet and you hate mushrooms and there's a mushroom bar, you're not going to go over to the mushroom bar and throw all the mushrooms off the table. You're just not going to get the mushrooms. And in a buffet example, I feel like it's very easy to compare it to life, because if mushrooms are a situation that sucks, or someone's attitude, or how you're treated, or whatever it may be, it's tough to be like, okay, I'm just going to accept that this is a thing in my experience, and I'm not going to get mad at it, and I'm not going to fight it, and I'm not going to try to get rid of it or deny it. It's very easy to want to deny it and to fight it. And there's also a phrase that I hear very often, that what you resist persists. So the more you try to fight something, the more it shows up and the more it persists. It just does not go away by fighting it. But once you just kind of come to terms with it and accept it, that's when it stops being such a problem, and it just is. It's not a bad thing. And I know that I definitely get upset with other people and their actions and behaviors, and even when I get upset with them, it's like, okay, I cannot control another person. Even if I ask them to stop something, it could just be the way that they operate, it could be how they were taught, it could be something that's really deeply conditioned into them that they've been doing since they were born, and they're just not going to stop it ever. So if I have the approach of, okay, this person may not ever change, even if I ask them, remind them every time they do it, this could be something that may not ever change. I cannot make anyone do anything that they're not ready to do. Now, if I take that perspective, then it's like, okay, how am I responding to this person in a way that's creating pain within me? Then it's like, okay, I do get upset. But then it's like, if I just let myself be upset and I let that emotion pass, usually those moods and feelings are temporary, and they don't last long enough to become a mood or a temperament or an attitude. It could usually just be, oh, that's annoying, and anger, and then it's like, okay, this anger is pointless. I've tired myself out. It's like babies and little kids when they're throwing their temper tantrums, and especially in the middle of a store, and it's just like, whoa, child, what is going on? And then you leave the store and they've completely forgotten about it. It's just like, you just had a meltdown and it looked like you were about to like explode into nothingness, and then now you're just fine and laughing. But I think that's the challenge, is that we don't always know how our feelings are going to go. We don't always trust our moods, and it's tough. And I know I have a problem with that, because I always fight my feelings, because I've seen people, when they get upset, they treat people poorly. When they're hurt, they don't behave or respond in ways that are acceptable or effective. So if I get hurt and I lash out at someone, that's not going to make them receptive to the fact that, oh, they're in pain and they're hurting. They're just gonna be like, you hurt me, what's wrong with you? So now the first person, so it's like, if person A hurts this person is hurt, and they lash out and they like do something mean in response, then this person is like, what's wrong with you? And they walk off, because they might not realize that they hurt their feelings. But if this person's mean and this person's like, oh, I'm upset, and walk away, and then they come back and then, hey, I didn't like when you did that, it made me feel this way, then it's a different conversation, because it's like, oh, I didn't realize I hurt your feelings. Because sometimes we think people know how they affect us, and they don't. People aren't mind readers. We don't always know their intentions. And I feel like that goes both ways. So I don't always understand why someone would do something, what behaviors they have, or even the effect that they have on me. Sometimes there are some moments where I'm just like, I don't know why, but I'm just upset. I am just triggered beyond anything, and I don't know what to do with myself. And that's just what happens sometimes, especially when you're in the middle of life and you're just living it to the fullest. Sometimes there's just feelings that come up, and it's just like stupid feelings. Man, you make things so difficult. But at the same time, if we didn't have feelings, there wouldn't be that joyful joy where it's just like, oh my gosh, it was a struggle, it was rough, I didn't think I was going to make it through, but now I am triumphant, and I feel the victory throughout all of my being, and this was worth all the fights and all the challenges and all the mayhem that I went through. And then even the sadness, it's not usually fun, but it's also a sign that we're alive and we're feeling and we're connected to something, whether it's just ourselves, another person, or even in feeling disconnected from another. There's almost that sense of, wow, I was able to connect to someone else. And I know for myself, I enjoy being sensual and seductive and looking good and having fun with people. And I also know that I have not had an official boyfriend or setup where it's like, okay, like we're in a partnership and I feel comfortable and safe dancing for you and showing you that I want to do things and letting it be known, and not just in a direct, hey, like want to do it kind of way, but just like actually just like having fun and creating a mood and feeling like I have the freedom to create a space of like, this is what turns me on and excites me, like welcome to my world. Usually it's not that deep with the people that I know. Even if we've done it a lot of times and we've known each other for a while, there's like a certain level of intimacy where it's just like, I like you, you're really cool, and I'm not ready for that level of intimacy when we're not in a relationship of that sort. And there's part of me that's like, wow, that's weird, like why are you like that? And then another part of me is like, no, that makes sense. Like, why would I give you the best of me when that's not where we are at? Like, that's not the agreement that we have. So it could be something where it's like, you're just gonna hurt my feelings and make me feel super awkward, and it's just like, dang, I already feel like a nerdy person in the first place. Like, I got the moves and people like me dancing because I've done classes and they tell me so. But at the same time, dancing in front of a bunch of women that I don't like, I'm not attracted to, it's just like I'm just dancing for fun in myself, is different from dancing for fun in myself in front of a guy that I'm like, oh, I really like you, oh, you're so cute, like I hope you like what I'm doing, I hope you feel what I'm trying to communicate with you. Especially because like in the dance class, I usually don't have anything to communicate. Like, I don't go there just like, oh, let me work out my issues and express myself through my body. I'm usually just like, can we just get on the pole? And then after pole portion, then I'm like, can I just do my dance? And after I do my dance, then I'm just like, okay, I'm satisfied. Like, it's fun to watch other people sometimes, but it's also like, you just never know. But if I were to live as the light, happy, highest version of myself, I know that's a different experience from me showing up as not. Or it's possible that it's not even that different for now, because sometimes we have to, I feel like Conversations with God puts it in a way that I love, and it's very fascinating, because it's like, until you can experience that which you are not, then you cannot experience that which you are. So if you are the most, like if you are magnificence, you have to experience things that aren't magnificent to then be like, okay, now I can choose magnificence. Because like, if magnificence is all there is no choice. There's nothing. It just it just is. It just is what it is, and it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. But if there's magnificence, and then there's all the things that aren't magnificent, now you have the option to choose. So once you experience that not magnificence, then you could be like, you know what? This isn't that great. Let's be magnificent now. And I really like that perspective on it, because it makes all of our feelings and journeys and experiences very valuable in choosing who we would like to be. And I know that from that perspective, I've gone through a lot of different things in my experience, and it just makes me feel like, oh, I know I've seen myself as a heathen because I was definitely raised in the church and told to do better. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not about that life. Let's just be a heathen and evil and have fun on the dark side. And then now it's like, oh, well, that experience helps me see how would I like my relationships to look? How would I like to experience different things? How would I like to experience myself? And I don't like feeling like I'm evil. I never liked that thought. It's always felt kind of icky to me. Now it's like, oh, you know, I had to experience that which is not my highest, best self to know, okay, I have a choice. I can continue. I could be mean or I could be loving. And, you know, now that I've experienced not loving, I've definitely experienced that one. I know that one very well. Even like judging and condemning, then it's like, okay, I know what it's like to fight and resist my reality and myself. Let me start allowing myself. Let's stop denying who I am and what I feel and my truth, really. And like, let's just honor what's true for me, have fun with it, and then make a better choice moving forward. So that's where I'm at, and I'm just chilling out, sitting and feeling good. I hope you can do the same. Comment below if you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and have a wonderful day.